It's my favorite time of every FM year, the dawn of a brand new season. It's our first full year at FC Porto, and I've got a really good feeling about this one. Welcome back. I hope you had a great weekend. This is episode number 121 of Bottom to the Top. It's our first full season at FC Porto. We are ready to get underway. We are hosting AVS SAD. I don't know what any of that stands for, so we're just going to say AVS moving forward. Big match coming up. We also have Sporting Firenze on the road in this episode. Before we get to the match, though, yeah, we did a little bit more business. Okay, it really wasn't a ton. We didn't have any major outgoings, a couple of youngsters out on development loans, that kind of thing. We did end up pulling the trigger on David Zambrano from Fulham Football Club. We knew him. We loved him. We paid 6.75 million euros for him. He's making 24,000 a week. He's a pacey left winger. We needed some more depth at the position. We had already kind of been in negotiations for him when we signed Zunga, so we decided we like his personality. He could wear off on some of the youngsters around the team, so we might as well bring him aboard. Speaking of youngsters, we did bring in another versatile midfielder in the form of 19-year-old Spaniard Javier Garmendia. He is got another great personality. He is very fast in that midfield position, and he is aggressive. So he is going to get around and be where he needs to be. He's going to be tenacious, and we love tenacity in our players. Very determined. He's a decent player for this level already. Not too far off of the first team. 22.5 million is what it cost us to get him from Real Sociedad. And it hasn't happened yet, so we are going to keep him out of the matchday squad for today. But Philip Sidklev has 3 offers for loans with either mandatory buy clauses or at least optional buy clauses. We decided to hire an intermediary for the task. It's kind of costing us a bit of money. One of the teams that he's talking to is Sporting Braga, last year's champions. He is interested in joining them as their backup. I thought when he wanted a new adventure, he was talking about somewhere other than Portugal, but c'est la vie. Philip Sidklev could very soon no longer be a member of the FC Porto team. Now that that all is out of the way, we can finally get to what we are all here for, and that is the opening match of the season. Diogo Ferreira is going to get the start in goal. Radek Vitek did not pass a fitness test. He is not ready to go. He will be on the bench if absolutely necessary in an emergency, but Vitek, making his full debut for Porto, is going to have to wait at least another week. It's going to be a back 4 of Sandro, Gui Katau, who will wear the captain's armband. He'll be next to Martinez, the 19-year-old who was brought in last year. He is absolutely fantastic in that libero role. Meanwhile, Francisco Cunha, who just signed a new four-year deal, I believe a 4-year deal, is going to be getting the start at right back. In the midfield, it is going to be Andre Martins and Nino Aklin. Zungu will be making his debut on the left wing. Goke Akar is going to make his debut on the right. Up top will be Gonzalo Perez making his debut next to last year's late season surprise and hopefully this year's star player, Cesar Ramos. Well, apparently AVS beat us the last time, so we are out for a little bit of revenge here on opening day. And we're going to get things started with a kickoff highlight. Why, you may ask? Because we were watching extended highlights during the preseason. Martins will control it in the midfield, lay it to the left for Sandro. I don't know if anything is going to happen in this highlight, but it's possible. Martinez in control, up the right wing. Akar, he's carrying it deep. They're giving him space. We'll take it. Taking it toward the byline, throwing it back post. Zungu unable to get his head on it, and AVS able to clear. D'Angela carrying it forward for the visitors. D'Angela still with it, moving to the right. stops, drops it for Vasco. Vasco deep, flipping it into the middle, and Ferreira making his first play of the match as he comes off his line to grab that one out of the air and mute any potential AVS threat. 6 minutes gone by, we have the first 3 shots of the match. The goalie kick is handled by AVS, but Sandro will recover. Zungu dropping it back for Martins. He's got Aklin in the middle. Ahead for Ramos. Ramos feeding it wide to the right for Akar. Kind of had to go back for it. Back post Perez. His header, he can't get on top of that and will go over the goal and out of play. Cunha to throw it in. Ramos with it. Back for Cunha along the near side. We're still hesitant to kind of tick up the intensity, so we're still taking a very balanced approach to our play early here in the season. Sandro sending it in. Ramos with the header. That one is going to sail wide and miss everything. Let's check the scoreboard, shall we? If we can get the right scoreboard up there. Nope, we didn't do it in time. 15 and a half minutes in, Aklin, Akar in the middle. Ramos can't get his foot on that. Akar will retrieve it and have his pocket picked by Onyema, who is able to clear it, but only as far as Cunha, keeping it in the AVS end. Akar heading it into the middle, but it'll be handled by Nuno Felix. Aklin with it again. He'll shoot, rocket it off of the post. Best opportunity so far in this match for FC Porto to take a 1-0 lead, and that was a very nice look by Aklin as we now try to get the Liga Portugal scoreboard up there. Benfica with a 3-0 win over Moreirense. We'll take a look at the rest a little bit later. Zungu to deliver the corner in the 26th minute, trying to pick out Martinez. Onyema trying to clear it. Martins keeping it in the box. Ramos back for Zungo, moving it inside. Zungo will shoot, and Daniel Zungu with the first regular season goal of the season for FC Porto. He scores in the first half of his debut match with the club, and already looking to be a very worthwhile signing on that left wing. Diassi unable to make the save, diving to his left, and Daniel Zungu with a very, very fine look. And the scoreboard keeps resetting itself. I'm not sure why. Martinez in control just inside the Porto end. Catao over for Martins, who came back deep for it. Up for Zungu. Nice touch. Feeding it ahead for Perez. Perez, that target in front. Gets it to Ramos. Back for Perez. Finds Nino Aklin just inside the 18-yard box. Aklin with a goal and a yellow card, to be fair, in this first half. And Porto with now a commanding 2-0 lead, because right now AVS is not showing any offensive guile in this match. 36 and a half minutes in, Porto leads it 2-0, and they are looking for more. Akar up the right wing will play it all the way back for Cunha, moving to the interior across for Martins. Runs into some traffic, so he'll lay it off to Catao. Back for Martins, looking to go forward. Nice touch into the box by Perez. He'll chip it past Diassi, and Gonzalo Perez on his debut with his first goal of the year. Porto 3, AVS 0. And Martins picking up the assist. He's got Perez working on the shoulder of the defense. Beautiful touch to get it into the box. Goes one-on-one with Diassi, and that one was beyond a shadow of a doubt. They say it was a close offside. It wasn't as close as it may have looked. 3-0, and the chance for a fourth in this first half. Cunha, Aklin sending it far post. Zunga could not keep the header down, and that was unfortunate because that one looked like it was laid on a platter for Zunga to pick up his second. Akar with a free kick, pretty much straight on, looking for the far post, and he's not going to find it. At least his far post. It was near post from our vantage point. Regardless, 16-1, your shots on goal. 3-0, your score after the first 45. We're going to look for opportunities to keep fresh legs in this second half, but honestly not making any changes after the first 45 because everybody is playing so very well. I don't want anyone to get upset by being pulled out of the match too early. AVS, though, looking to control about 5.5 minutes into the second half. Fed forward up the left wing for Gamara. He'll run into some traffic, but he finds Rodriguez with space. But Ferreira not even going to flinch as that shot goes well off target. Only 2 shots on goal so far in the match for AVS. Porto with 19, 8 of them on target, 3 of them hitting the back of the net. And Martins with a corner kick, unable to pick out Martinez. Ramos with a rocket on the half volley just over the crossbar. Ramos looking to pick up a banger from the edge of the 18-yard box. Nino Acklin on a yellow card. We will bring him off. Cesar Ventura will make his debut of the season. Cesar Ramos will be replaced by Yol Choi up front. We were talking about Yol Chol, not Choi. There's nothing spectacular about him, but he just seems to find the open places. He finds the opportunities, and he plays very hard, and that's really all we ask. Martinez will get a blow, and Felipe Lopez will come on in for his first action this season as we make 3 changes with about 20 minutes left to go, and we're going to make one more. Jorge Meza, who was complaining about getting not enough playing time in order to satisfy his Mexican international desires, who backed down when we made him realize just how important the club was. He is going to come in and take Akar's place on the right wing. Cunha with a final third throw in, about 10 minutes left. Mazza throwing it in, looking for Zungu, but D'Angelo will clear it. But right into the path of Sandro. Sandro carrying it pretty deep across Meza back post. Dos Santos clearing it away, but Cunha getting it back and pushing it forward, this time up the right side into the middle. Perez with a header, and that is going to go just wide of the near post. FC Porto on the live table, finding ourselves at the top of the table, tied on points and in goal difference with Benfica. I guess we get up to the top because the English alphabet. Romero in control, feeding it up the left wing. Gamara. Cunha will sweep it away from him. Rodriguez is going to get it. Shoot it on. Ferreira will leap and grab it as the 90 minutes has expired. The board is up. 4 minutes have been added on. Ferreira sending it long. Oh my goodness, Aguiar misses the header. Gonzalo Perez picks it up and gets his brace on his debut. A mistake made by the defender for AVS. The ball able to fall harmlessly in the direction of Perez. Did Chol get his head on that? If he did, that was a fantastic assist. We'll have to check the stats when the match is over. 2 goals for Perez, 1 for Zungu, 1 for Acklin. Full time has been achieved. FC Porto finds themselves in first place with a 4-0 commanding victory. Philip Sidclev did make his move out on loan to Sporting Braga. They're going to be paying the majority of his weekly salary, also a 120,000 euro per month fee for the privilege. They also have the option at the end of the year of paying us $8.25 million. Keeping our fingers crossed because that is more than he is worth. And there's nothing I love more than free money. Boyo Seturumane moved away from Porto long before we got here to Real Madrid. 88 million transfer fee. However, if he plays 5 more matches, we just get 23.5 million. Okay. So because we are just getting started and everyone's trying to get match fit, and we have 3 matches in the first week, including the inaugural O Clásico derby of the season against Benfica coming up in just a couple of days, we are doing some massive rotation for the match against Sporting Firenze. Ferreira is going to get the start in goal. Sandro will once again be at left back, but Sean Smith is coming in to play center back next to Felipe Lopez. Gustavo will be making his season starting debut at right back. Ventura making his first start of the year next to Hugo Picado in the midfield. Basilio dos Santos will get the start on the left wing, Meza on the right. Yolchol as our target forward next to, well, Cesar Ramos is going to be in there again. He and Sandro, the only two starting both matches to begin the year, and that is mainly because Armando, while he passed the fitness test, is not ready to come back. Armando will most likely make his debut in the starting lineup against Benfica. But we have a 6-match unbeaten streak going to start our tenure here at FC Porto. Hopefully it will continue on the road against Sporting Firenze, our first road match of the year, and Firenze picking up the first 5 shots of the match. But the first highlight is going our way as Smith is set to deliver a corner from the far side. The in-swinger delivery. Santos will try to clear it away. Yolchol's got it for Venturi. He finds Sandro. Sandro hits the post, and Santos will gather and clear. Played forward very quickly ahead to Sandro, but alas, nothing will come of it. An early piece of woodwork for FC Porto. It seems to always be the way with the teams that we manage. 25 minutes in, we're getting closer to evening things up in the shots on goal and possession department, but a throw-in for Firenze as Maniti controls it, getting away from one man. Mendes with it now. Biton up the right side. Lapero, Masando back for Biton. Has got Yastin feeding Masando, and Shidoso Masando, I'm never going to get that name right, scores the first goal against FC Porto of the season to give Firenze the 1-0 lead. And this is looking eerily reminiscent of the match that we played against them last year. Pretty much the same goal scorer getting things started. The good thing for us is that we still have plenty of time left, 55 minutes or so in this match. The bad thing is we are playing a bunch of players that are not used to playing with each other. Gustavo with a final third throw-in. We'll get it back from Meza. Gustavo into the middle. Santos is going to collect it. Played back in, however, but we are unable to once again settle it. Lopez stepping up, heading it forward. Meza throwing it in. Yolchol heads it on and hits the crossbar. Second time the frame of the goal has denied FC Porto this evening. And Firenze looking to move it out up the near sideline. 2 times we've hit the woodwork already. So unlucky. 7-6 sure shots on goal. Ultimately, 6 of the last 8 shots of that first half went FC Porto's way. But possession going Firenze's direction, and we need to see a little bit more desire from our players. Things not really working out for us up top. Masando with a free kick, back post. Ferreira saves it, and Gustavo, I guess he thought he was going to be clearing that over the bar, but instead he puts it in his own net. And Gustavo with an own goal, a bad own goal. That was like Seamus Coleman a couple of weeks ago for Everton, bad own goal. Although that one you can see it was semi-accidental. Dos Santos losing control of it, and once again Firenze with the ball. Mendes ahead. Masando. Scovold will lose it to Ventura. Sandro has it now. Turns it inside to Smith. Back out for Sandro. Up the sideline, Dos Santos. Sandro again, trying to make some inroads is this Porto side. Smith playing it up, looking for Meza. Freitas will step in front of that. Feeding it ahead, looking for Yastin. Smith gets there first. Gustavo up for Meza. Picado will send it up. Finds Ramos. Ramos with 4 players around him, but he'll feed Chol in the middle, whose header is going to be floated high and over the crossbar. Smith with the corner. Can he pick out a player? No. Meza playing it out for Ventura. Back for Smith. Ventura once again across. Gustavo looking to make up for his earlier mistake, and he does. His second goal of the night. This the first one into the correct goal. Gustavo with his first goal of the season, coming a little delayed off of the set piece, but he one-times it from 18 yards out past Talhadas to bring Porto back within one. And we are going to ratchet things up just a little bit, and we will make some changes as well. Yolchol not really doing what we need him to do. We'll bring in Akar into the striker position. We brought him in to be a right wing, but he is pretty good in that spot as well. Dos Santos will make way for Daniel Zungu as we make two changes prior to the 60-minute point, which is not typical for a team that I have managed, and things so tight in the first two match weeks. With us not winning and getting any points, we drop all the way down into 10th. It will be a very brief stay if we are to stay there at all. Meanwhile, we are going to demand more from our team and make some additional substitutions. Cesar Ramos will come out. We really don't have anybody who can play in that position. We'll move Andre Martins into a striking role. Meza not really feeling it either, so Gustavo will move up to the wing and Cunha will come in as the new right back. So we've made a total of 4 alterations to our lineup. 10 minutes left. Set piece sent forward but controlled by Porto. Sandro, who's got Zungu. Zungu looking to move it ahead. Has a little bit of space. Feeds Akar. Dropping it for Ventura across. Lopez. Picado. Gustavo. Touch pass up for Martins. And Andre Martins will pick up his first goal of the season. And we look like tactical geniuses moving the midfielder into that advanced striking position. What a beautiful touch pass as well as Ventura for Lopez, finding Picardo. Gustavo just redirecting it into the path of Martins in the box. Nothing Talhadas can do as he loses the one-on-one battle. 2-2 is your scores. Porto has battled back. Can we hold them off in these final 5 minutes, plus whatever is added on by the fourth official? Bitone moving it ahead. Masando will just play it back for Villegas. Masando once again, although he is unable to advance it. Lopera back for Villegas. This time they'll try to move it to the left. Silva ahead for Mendez. Miniti across for Bitone. Masando touching it up, looking for Yastin. Ferrero is going to be there. Gilberto Ferreira, if it were to count, would be his third of the year, but the assistance flag is up along the far sideline, and the goal has been disallowed. Let's encourage our team here on the road. Yeah, that lean, it did him in the end. Porto 2, Firenze 2, our first road match of the year. And to be fair, we gave up a really bad own goal. Got the goal back from the offending player. Playing an almost entirely rotated squad, you can forgive us for not picking up all 3 points in this match. We are unbeaten through our first 2. 2-2 is your final. A good comeback. We were down 2-0. After the Gustavo own goal, but then 4 minutes later, Gustavo bounced back and scored one of his own on the other end. Andre Martins coming in, playing super sub duties with a goal in the 81st minute to equalize. They dominated us in possession. We have to do better there. It may show that our depth isn't necessarily where we want it to be. So we not only gave up our first goal of the season, we gave up our first 2. We're going to be looking to bounce back in a couple of days with the O Clásico derby against Benfica. We've got Guimarães after that, and then Alverca. I think we did pretty well against Alverca last year. We're going to come back in the month of September. We are waiting for our Champions League fixtures to be announced. As you remember from yesterday's episode, we are not in the third qualifying round. We are in the league phase. Thank you to our coefficient rankings. So big thumbs up for that. We've got Champions League play when we return tomorrow. Who it will be against, we still have absolutely no idea, but I hope that you will be here to see it. regardless of who our opponents are going to be. Thank you very much for joining me today. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, and come back tomorrow for more Bottom to the Top. I hope to see you then. Until tomorrow, bye-bye.